Good morning and welcome to Tarot Time. Welcome to the Medium channel. And I know you guys that are on live are probably thinking, is he having tech issues again? No, I'm just running late, and I'll explain that in a second. But firstly, hi everybody that's here live. If you're watching this as a video, welcome. We'll get started in just a minute. We do every Sunday morning at 11 Eastern time. We do our weekly forecast and energy update for the week using tarot and other divination tools. So we're going to have a meditation card for the week, a tarot spread, other divination tools. And those of you that are watching live, you always keep a really nice, lively chat going on the community chat. So thank you and welcome. So let me just say my highs and see who's here. So Emma Louise, hey, welcome. Hi, Children's School of Yoga. Hi, Doreen, Kimberly, and Judy. Welcome, Suzette. Hi, and Judy, and Roseanne, and Millie, and Lisa, and Brooke, and Josh, and Mr. Floyd's channeling. Welcome, and Chris, and Suzette, and Brooke, Lisa, Yvonne's in. Wow. Well, I know I'm late, so I'm not surprised you got a good conversation going. Katie Bluebird, hi. Hi, all right. Michael's in, cool. Hi, Peggy, and hi, Jody. And anybody else that I missed, hi, Karen, and anybody else that didn't comment but who's on, hi to you guys also, and good day all. And yet you're not imagining that I'm in clothes that I usually wear in the winter. It's I think it's 50 out. I think we broke 50 finally up here in the Catskill Mountains. So weather that's typical from mid to late October, we're having in early September. So there's that. But you guys that follow me and are aware of my weather forecast, you expected this in early September, and then you're expecting a warm up next week. Well, that's right on target, and a few of you might even top 90 next week. So it's still September, so there's still some summer. 45 and Never Sink. Yeah, it tends to be a little colder Never Sink than Phoenicia. So I'm not surprised that it's a little bit colder there. I love Never Sink. That's such a high vibe, beautiful area of the Catskills. Hello, Sylvia. Welcome. Good morning. So I'm going to get started. A lot is going on. We're going to hear more in the news the next few weeks. I'm preparing our first Thursday upload in a month. So we're going back to our Thursday afternoon uploads. And for this week, I'm going to do the fall forecast, the autumn 2024 forecast. And a little bit of a heads up, the economy is going to be very highlighted in these next few months, amongst other things. But I do believe that in early September, stocks have taken a downturn. Oil futures have gone down, or at least the gas prices have gone down. And anyways, and it's a lot is changing, a lot is shifting, and whether it's the light is slowly starting to, I don't even want to say light and dark, but the portions of positivity that are looking for reform in the society, for enhancement of spiritual awakening and power by the people, for the people, and all that good stuff. We're getting some good infusions of light into that area, but there's a lot of struggles that are going on energetically in this and other dimensions, and in other parts of the galaxy and the universe and so forth. So it's a real shift that we're in right now. We've been talking about this since the channel's been here since 2020, but especially since 2022. So anyway, so there is that. Yeah, hi to the September birthday. Oh yeah, we have a few 9/9s. That's tomorrow. So happy birthday, everybody. And it's not 90 in Colorado. Wow. And my friend that lives in Scottsdale is visiting in Scottsdale, Arizona. We'll see on Tuesday. But it's like 100 straight days of 100 degrees in Phoenix. So that and it's still 100, so we're past 100 straight days. But if you saw my summer forecast and even the spring forecast, you know that one of the bylines for summer 2024 that I was saying is the summer of hot. And now that we're in September, weather records, I mean, I feel like science is still at least somewhat reliable, even though there's a lot of distortion in the news and facts and figures can get distorted to serve certain agendas. But that said, I do believe in what they're saying, that these they confirmed July was the hottest month, I think, ever on the planet. And there's one day in July that was like the hottest ever since the late 1800s. That's not forever, but anyway, you get the gist of that. So it's definitely a lot's changing, but since they're talking about the climate and the weather and everything, what goes up comes down, and sometimes things that go up and up and up crash down really hard, especially when you're talking about global climate and the fact that things are warmer, and there may be some behind the scenes activities to try to cool, well, quote unquote, cool the sun. You don't really cool the sun, but you change the upper atmosphere via chemtrails and other means. And whatever the heck they're doing, my sense is we've been in a global warming, not man-made, yes, but beyond man-made or human-made, just the natural cycles of the earth, whether it's geothermal or the sun's effects and radiations vary, or a combination thereof. I think we've peaked out. I think we're going to go into the natural cooling cycle. So they're putting a lot out there to cool the atmosphere. In 50, 100 years, and maybe talk about an ice age. Can you imagine that, when everybody's talking about how hot the planet is right now and everything? So don't mess with Mother Nature. Hopefully humans will get that and stop trying to control the weather so much, because Mother Nature will always counterbalance. And no matter how advanced technology is, there's always going to be a glitch. There's always going to be a flaw in the system. So, I'm not sure to what degree, and different people have different views on this, but I think it's safe to say that there's at least some weather modifications happening on this planet. Some people believe that it's full on controlled to the point that we don't even have natural weather anymore. There's validation to that possibility, I'll put it that way. I tend to be more of a moderate in my views, so I'm still feeling like there's some natural weather, but there's also some modified weather. But anyway, point being is that the more humans try to tamper with the natural flows of nature, the more nature's going to bite humans in the butt. And that's just the way it is. So what do we do about it? We awaken. We keep tuning into our heart. We keep elevating our frequencies. As we raise our frequencies, it affects collective consciousness. If there's a million of us doing this, it's going to have a small, when you think about 6.5 billion people on the planet, though, the master teachers say there's really only 500 million people, and the rest are what's called background people, or parts of the illusion, or the Maya, or the Matrix, or whatever you want to call it. But whatever the case, that many people, it's just a tiny little fraction, but it only takes 1 to 3%, depending on what it is, of a shift in consciousness, of collective consciousness, before everybody becomes part of that consciousness. It's the 100th monkey experiment, basically. Point being is that keep awakening, keep trying to help people. Don't waste your time and energy for those that aren't ready yet, but those that are, or that are on the fence, help them along, to help them to elevate and to awaken. Because the more people that do that, and the more that we do that, the more that's going to affect collective consciousness, and the more humanity is going to awaken, and the less challenge and problems we're going to face in our transition, because we are transitioning on planet Earth from a lower to a higher frequency, I guess that's the best way of explaining it. Energy is frequencies. High frequencies are shorter wavelengths, low frequencies are longer wavelengths, technically speaking, but it is shifting. There's natural forces through the central sun, through the physical sun. So there's light code activation. There's photon belts. There's energetic spikes that are happening. We're all feeling it. It's been more and more lately, and it's going to keep continuing, but it's acting on conscious, acting on our energetic fields. It's helping to elevate us. It's helping to shift the structure of our auric fields, and that shifts the structure of our cellular patterns to more crystalline, to allow us to be able to channel higher and greater, higher frequencies and greater amounts of energy for our growth, our healing, our ascension, and all that stuff. So basically, timelines keep shifting, and the pattern's been lots of doom and gloom prophecies. Think of, oh God, I keep forgetting your name, the blind prophet, and then there's Nostradamus and other ones. And Revelation. You keep looking at that and seeing, well, you can kind of glean from that. Well, this has been happening, but it hasn't been as bad. It could have been worse. And that's the idea. As the shift happens, the more of us that awakening and the less resistance to the change of frequencies and change of consciousness we offer, the easier the transition is going to be, and the less people that have to suffer through that. So anyway, that's my sermon for the morning. I know it's a Sunday morning. We might as well make like we're in church. When I go to church, it's a spiritualist church normally, which I haven't been for a while. And where I go, or where I used to go, which is Journey Within in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. And all spiritual services are the same. It almost feels like you're in a Christian service in a way, except maybe it's not so centered on the biblical teaching, but it has a similar pattern and feel. Only difference is that you have energy healers doing healing and mediums giving messages from people that have crossed over. Other than that, it's the same. So anyway, Baba Vanga, thank you, Michael, for sharing that. And let me just say a few hellos here. So hi, Pauline. Happy birthday to the 99 people. That would be Suzette. That'd be Laura if she's on. And there's one other 99 birthday that comes. Oh, okay. I don't need to flash everything. Thank you, Emma. You too. I hope that. And thank you, Jody, for your birthday wishes. And very good. Very good. One of the Georgia Guidestones, very interesting how that mysteriously appeared and mysteriously got blown up. And the funny thing is you can look at it one way and look at that as some kind of a spiritual prophecy, and you can look at it another way and you can see that as the grand plan to control humanity, and you wonder which is it. So it's interesting. But in any event, yeah, I'm a September birthday too, but later in the month. Just made the cut into Libra. So I think it's time. Bibles are never. You're saying Bibles are important, are you saying? Well, they're important, especially Revelation, Psalms. I love the Bible and biblical teachings. I'm well aware of the manipulation and how we may not even be seeing ancient scripture. We don't know the process of all the translations, and some of the early Christians actually admitted of changing certain doctrines in order to attract more followers, which is basically convert the masses. So I know you have to kind of take the Bible in, and a lot of it's symbolic, a lot of it's between the lines, but I love Revelations. It was written, I can't remember my history, but Revelations was a whole separate entity from the rest of the Bible. It originally in a different language. The Old Testament is filled with prophecy, but not so much the New Testament, but Revelation. It's all about prophecy, and then I forgot the channel's name. I know John the Scribe was the writer, but not John the Baptist, John the Scribe. But anyway, let's do some tarot. It's tarot time. Let's do tarot. So I hope you guys are doing well. One of the reasons I'm late is that my brother Anthony is in the hospital again with very bad infections. Plus, he has blood cancer, he has multiple myeloma, and kidney disease. So, if you think about Anthony, he's in Providence, Rhode Island. If you think about him, please send him a little prayer and healing energy. He really needs it. This guy's such a trooper. I don't know how he does it with all the health stuff he's had to deal with. But and he's only 60. He's my little brother. I'm turning 66. 66. Anyhow, thank you, Judy. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Josh, and everybody. Today's an 888 day. How does that work out? I'm gonna flash this. Well, oh wait, it's not letting me highlight comments anymore. There we go. Oh, your version of numerology. I was gonna say because that's clearly not an 8-month; it's a 9-month, but it is an 8-day. It is an 8-year, 2024, and it's a universal 7-day. You had 8 and 8 and 9. 8 and 8 is 16, and 9 is 25. 2 plus 5 is 7. So it's a very intuitive kind of a day. Thanks everybody for all the prayers. We so appreciate it. I'm gonna do some energy healing on him later, some distance healing. So we've been calling on the master teachers to assist him also. So let's do our meditation card for the day. 926 and 917 to 888. Well, it's definitely like 8 day and 8 year. Yeah, that would hold true in August, Pauline. But anyway, you did say your version of numerology, so we honor that. I'm back to my clipboard because God, who gave me that gift? It was a lovely thought and idea, but it just doesn't work for me. So I have it as an ornament now that I can hang pictures from and stuff like that. So it's still a useful gift. I'm back to my clipboard. But anyway, that's for the 3 card spread. Let me clear my mind a second. Take glasses off for a second also. I appreciate all your prayers. Love you guys. Thank you. All right. Oh, just one card. That's right. I like the card. So as a meaning, this is about like important meeting with somebody, a friend, a partner, a soulmate. But because this is the meditation card, this is your opportunity, according to Spirit, to meet either a very important soulmate or to work with somebody that you love but lost to the spirit world. Never lost, but you know what I'm saying. And but the way to meditate with tarot cards, the way that I teach that is like any other meditation. You get very present, tuning into your breath, relaxing body, stopping thoughts to the point where I'm not a name, I'm not a body. I start to blend with spirit when I do that, or the quantum field. So once I get really relaxed, this is the Morgan Greer deck. You can take a mental snapshot of this card. If you have your own deck, pull the 2 of Cups, have that vision in your mind. Then in your mind, once you're clear and you're present, you step into the card and you gauge the change in energy. You can feel it emotionally or in your body, or a change in the flow, a change in the temperature, whatever it is. When you step into this reality of this card, and see who the other figure of the 2 of Cups is. Is it somebody that's in spirit, a guide, an ascended master, maybe a star being or an extraterrestrial that wants to work with you now? So when you step in, find out who this guide is and let them take you around this whole scene, because this is just a narrow doorway to a whole panoramic view of a different reality, a different dimension, or a different plane. So kind of get to know that, see who else you meet, see what insights come or what messages come. But there's always meanings also. So I think because we're a community, and Obviously, several people are here. Oh, I just caught that, Suzette. Thank you again for the super sticker. Today it's in green. I like how the different colors come up. So Suzette has been really helpful in supporting the Medium channel with her donations, and we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's a lovely meditation card. Yeah. And the energy, even though I know we're in for a lot, I feel like Spirit saying, it's kind of like a full-on war of consciousness that we're really entering the grand finale at this time. I feel really, really hopeful. So again, it may not be easy, and we're seeing a lot of maneuvering and moves and counter moves. I noticed, of course, how can you not notice that the sentencing of Donald Trump is going to be after, not before the election? So what if he wins and he needs given jail time? What are they going to do? Like house arrest in the White House? I mean, Emperor's clothes game, because it doesn't make any sense. None of this stuff makes any sense at all. But in any event, or what doesn't make sense, and it's constitutional. I mean, there's nothing against the Constitution for Donald Trump as a convicted felon to run for president. However, you can't apply for a passport unless they change those rules since I last renewed my passport. If you have a felony, you can't apply for a passport, or maybe it's certain kinds of felonies, but you can run for president. So what's wrong with this picture anyway? This is the time that we're in, that people are waking up. It's like it's almost like mass opium. I'm not talking about religion, just whatever. It's almost like everybody's like under the spell, and they're able to do things that are completely illogical and obvious, and nobody really questioned it. Well, we question it. I mean, some people do, but the masses just don't question it and everything. So really big time of awakening. Really, really big now. So let's do a 3-card spread also. So this might be insightful. So let me see what you're saying. Felony is a process crime 2 other presidents also committed but did not get charged for. Yeah, okay. So that's interesting. I don't know if that was Andrew Jackson was one of them, or why his name comes up in my mind. Well, whatever the case, maybe even Nixon, but whatever the case, he actually was convicted though. So I think this puts him in a new category. I might be mistaken, but I think so. And what's Claire saying? That's a question on tons of application. Yeah, on tons of work application. Have you ever been convicted of a felon? Right. It's like, people don't want to hire you if you're a convicted felon, but you vote. I shouldn't say this because but I'll say it since I started. But you'll vote for a convicted felon. Yeah, it's very mitigating circumstances with Donald Trump. It's not cut and dry. I understand part of it anyway, so I don't want to make it seem demeaning or anything. But so it's Haley saying, I don't think it's supposed to make sense. No, that is absolute truth. Yeah, maybe Elvis is your guide. I was talking to some. Oh yeah, somebody texted me not that long ago. I'll get to the 3-card spread in a second, about that they had 2 dreams with celebrities and didn't understand that. And I tried to explain, there's a continuity of life. I have been doing mediumship for over 20 years. I think we're going on 23 years now. There's a continuity of life that we don't change a lot when we lose the body. And it's come up time and time again in readings. And I even had a client yesterday just look at me and said, she didn't change a lot since she crossed over, did she? And I was like, yeah, that's how it goes. So think about celebrities. They've affected a lot of lives while they were here. So they go the other side. What are they going to do? They're going to still affect a lot of lives. It's a continuity of life. Personally, I've never gotten Elvis coming through in a reading. I have gotten Jerry Garcia, which is one of my favorites. I've gotten John Lennon twice. One of them was at a group session, and I don't remember the circumstances, but the other one was very, very clear. It was a young lady, youngish lady, and I just saw John Lennon, and I put that out there, and then she told me that her father's a music producer, and that John Lennon held her when she was a little baby, basically. So, so these people that are public figures, they're still public figures in the spirit world. So celebrities can come to a lot of mediums and a lot of people. I mean, we're all mediums to greater or lesser degree anyway. So what are you guys saying here? Rhode Island, I'm pretty sure. What are you talking about, Rhode Island? That's where my brother is too. He wasn't given due process. Is that Donald Trump we're talking about? Rhode Island, I'm pretty sure it was a governor that went to prison and was reelected. So HRC, no, both had the same crime. The federal government refused to prosecute. I believe it, and again, this is just what we see, with the prosecutions and everything. I'm not going to pretend that I know what I don't know. I pick things up from spirit. I get energies. Some things that we can be sure of. But, for every conspiracy theory, conspiracy fact, there's a counter theory, and there's programs. Some are meant to waylay the right-wing people. Others are meant to waylay the left-wing people, get people chasing down those rabbit holes. The truth's in the heart. Be aware, be politically aware, be aware of what's going on in the world. Absolutely. And I try to take everything in with an open mind. But at the end of the day, it's really comes down to what we feel and what we know intuitively. So anyway, poor Elvis, so much talent, no friend. Yeah, Elvis was in a way a sad story, with the colonel and all that stuff that went down with him. But anyhow, so this will be for a forecast for the week. All right, so giving these a good mix. All right, that feels good. So the idea of picking cards, I lay them down and I just pull 3 cards out of the deck. And I just clear my mind, ask spirit to blend with my body, to guide my hand to the card that they want us to have for this week. Here's number 1. I just heard my name in my mind, so that's kind of cool. I know they're with me. By the way, how many of you guys get clairaudient messages? That's kind of my lesser sense of the psychic senses, but I've been getting more and more lately. And every now and then I'll hear outside of myself, but usually to my own mental voice. And a lot of clairaudients say the same thing. They know it's not their thoughts, but it registers in their own mental voice. To me, these cards are just saying the economy is highlighted, and we talked about that a little bit also. So Peggy Moore said, "I do clairaudience." Yeah, and Dorian sometimes clairaudience, sometimes clairsentient. I like to flash these long comments too, just, like a community connection, and forgotten about manipulating because they don't know their rights or not given the chance that they deserve to defend themselves because the court system doesn't. Yeah, it's corrupt and always favors the wealthy, diminishes the poor, right? That tends to be the normal. Thank you, Kiss, and welcome. In my voice, yeah. Sometimes it's music too. You get a lot of that. Yeah, psychic smells very clear. Uh, Alliance or Claire olfactory. Take your pick. Claire Alliance, I think it's called, or Claire olfactory. people that don't think they're medium, sometimes they'll smell their loved ones, like they'll be in the car and smelling Uncle Charlie's cigarettes, but nobody ever smoked in that car. You're for that. You're clairvoyant and clairaudient then, if you're getting both of them, and that and sentience are the things, and they are coerced into just doing what they are told versus actually doing what legitimately. Yeah, exactly. Uh, I'll continue your streams, Haley. I think it's Haley, Chaley. I have a friend currently in this situation. I'm doing everything within my power to be able to get him a good attorney, but and it is very corrupt. I mean, back in '83, I got arrested for something related to weed. Back then people did get arrested for that, and basically I got a first-hand taste of how the media works. I knew this through studying with my martial arts teacher that was very much into political activism. He was in the Black Panthers back in the day. Well, they were called the Panther Party. The media called them the Black Panthers, but in any event, then they kind of adopted that name later on, and the logo and everything. But that said, basically, there's a news story about me and the two other people that were involved. I mean, I only had to do 6 months, so that's my hard in jail time, and they got my record expunged 7 years later, and I've been clean since then. So no, I'm not a convicted felon now. And I could have run for president back when I was 23 or 24, apparently, but in the article, they just left out one word of something important and something key that changed the whole meaning and the whole public perception of what happened in our case to a much more negative version of what it really was. And that's how they work. I call it tricknology. That and then people look back and say that wasn't a lie, that really happened. Yeah, no, it was, because you changed something and changed the whole public opinion. Remember, the media's job is to control the thinking of the masses. That's what their job is. And the powers that control the governments, the corporation, and everything, they dictate what's going to be on. It's more like what's omitted from the news is probably more of a key than what is included. Finger pointing in this direction, meanwhile all the actions happening behind our backs. It's sleight of hand, basically, is what it is. So anyway, back to the cards. Yeah, I agree. Nothing wrong with smoking weed. It's legal now. I mean, to be honest, we were cultivating it, so it could have been a lot worse. But in the early '80s, this was Reagan time. It wasn't in New York State, but this is when the Rockefeller laws were were in. So yeah, excuse me. I mean, the cards don't look horrible, but the thing is, I just feel like a lot of this is a statement on the economy. I have to kind of take this in for a second. Okay, some of you are going to really be starting to tune into your powers as a healer. Not to change the topic or anything, but I looked at this Five of Pentacles, and each card can have multiple meanings. For me, it's an intuitive process, so it's really what I notice or what I feel about each card and how they blend together. And so it feels to me like some of you or many of you are going to be helping somebody through their healing process, whether it's healing yourself or others, and discovering that maybe you have healing abilities that you're not aware of, or you're aware of, but they're even stronger. You're starting to cultivate it. A lot of these things are getting stronger as the frequencies get stronger when it comes to our spiritual gifts also. But what I'm kind of seeing is sort of like this is a 6 and of cups, and if you add this 5 and this Ace of Pentacles here, that's like a 6 also. It's almost like something being taken away or something being lost. And you may find that in your personal life over the next week or two, whether it's a loss of a friend or something financial or something like that. But it's not necessarily loss though. Because at the end, it's back to the six and the six of cups. It's just saying that you have to figure out a different, like some alternative or taking a different path now, especially if something's full and taking a different approach to something, whether it's a job or business or a friendship or a husband, wife, or romantic partnership, whatever it is, something's gonna fall, but it's something that needs to fall. But you're having to work together with the other party or parties involved to make it right for everybody, basically. And I think there's going to be a sell-off. Is that happening already? Is Michael on? Has there been a sell-off in the stock market lately? I know it's down. That I get. But there may be further sell-off or something. More businesses closing. This is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I don't think that's by accident either. I think a lot of retail outlets are folding, but you could at least partially trace that to giants like Amazon and Walmart and stuff like that. That's the reason why smaller retails may be going out of business. A lot of restaurants going out of business also. But then we have Uber, not everybody, or DoorDash or stuff like that. It's just a new world. And one of the things we're going to talk about, I'm going to film the video tomorrow. I got most of the notes done. That'll be Thursday for the fall psychic forecast, is that we're really going to feel the pinch of AI and the effects on the world. I mean, we're starting to feel it or we're aware of it, but we're really it's going to hit home for a lot of people this autumn. And a lot of things are going to implode. A lot of systems are just going to cave, and that could be the election systems also. And as far as that goes, I mean, I'm still, if things remain intact, November, I'm still, at least I got a vision of Kamala winning, or Harris is her last name. Kamala is her first name, I think. Or is it Harris Kamala? No, I'm just kidding. But I think back, but I'm not sure, because there's an alternate timeline where Trump wins, and I'm like, all right, so which one is it? Well, honestly, I don't know, but I'll say this much. Back in the spring, I think it was, when I made a prediction, I put two possibilities that either Trump would win or an unknown candidate. That's before, I mean, everybody knew that Biden was slipping, and sure, there's some conjecture if he was going to be able to run, but this was well before the debate, or well before he really took a nosedive. But anyway, that was the prediction. He'd be an unknown candidate or Trump. So now we have the unknown candidate. That's the current vice president. So, and then we also talked about the possibility of Trump pulling out in October. Right now, I'm seeing him running in November, so that might have been a different timeline or whatever. It could be the vice president pulls out. What's that Vance, or that I think Vance is the Republican, right? And Waltz is a Democrat. You can tell I don't read the news a lot, but in any regard, so that could change, or there could be another big change around Trump or around that. But I'm right now, it's next week. I might feel differently, but right now I think he's gonna still be running in November. I still feel like later this month or in October, there may be a few health things that come up, and as I'm talking, and this isn't rocket science, but I'm just hearing in my mind that he has undisclosed issues. Well, he's 78 and not the most healthy dude. And I could imagine, I mean, in a sense, whether you love him or hate him, he's kind of like a Superman almost, the way he keeps going and going and everything, being in poor health and his age and everything. But sooner or later, it catches up with people. And although I was going to say it, I could just imagine all the stress. I mean, I can imagine it's like 34 convictions, like always in battle with the media, which is to me a saving grace of Donald Trump, or I'll put it this way: since I don't really care for him, yeah, I was in New York City in the '90s. I was aware of a lot of corruption and a lot of things before most people were, because I had a client that was an artist for Ivana that did portraits for Ivana. So I got some inside info, I'll put it that way. But anyway, long story short, I like the fact that he will always challenge the status quo, the media, and all that stuff. And I do feel like we really need a president like that. I just wish it wasn't Donald Trump, but that's my own personal opinion. It doesn't necessarily pan out to reality. But in any regard, yeah, so I think a lot of healing. I think you're going to be helping and consoling people. You guys that are attracted to this work, especially the ones that they keep coming back. I said very specific parameters with spirit for the medium channel. Yes, obviously I want to grow because there's a business side to it also. But that said, it's a spirit. The spirituality is what really matters. So I set the intention that the people that are attracted, they're the ones that are awakening also. They're the ones that are in alignment with myself, basically. Like we all have our own I don't know what the right word is. Yeah, we're all of different hearts and different mindsets, even though there's one heart, basically. I mean, there's plenty of awakening people that won't necessarily resonate with what I say and what I do. So basically, put the intention out there for those people that do resonate with that, by the millions, of course, to be attracted to the channel, and the people that are really serious about their awakening, that are really serious about their spiritual growth and evolution. And you guys that are coming back, week after week, that's you. You are exactly that. So the idea is, I feel like you're going to be helping a lot of people that are really getting confused. I think a lot of people, September, even more in October, November, it's going to be a huge spike of awakening in the world, more than we've even seen, in the summer, which was a big spike also. I think there's going to be anywhere from 3 to 10-fold of that. And I think people are going to be having breakdowns. People are going to start to have their illusions shattered, and that's going to be hard on people. So, for those of you that are light workers, healers, psychics, channels, or whatever, prepare to be consoling more and more people and helping more and more people. The thing is, you've got to take the best care of yourself. So there's a fine line between being there to help and to heal people versus allowing yourself to be drained by other people, or for them to dump their stuff on you and affect your energy fields negatively. So you have to find where that line is, and to stay on the more empowered side of that line, if that makes any sense. And yeah, 90 in Boca Raton, very nice. It cracked 50 here in Phoenicia. It's still nice, it's just would be even nicer if it was October. It's still a little early. So I think that's good, for that. Anyway, I may get some more energy. What's the 6 of Cups though? I think for some of us it's kind of like we're reconnecting with somebody or people that we haven't seen for a while. I think there's a resolution. If you've been having some, they're using the word disturbances, but if you've been having some problems with family members or partners or stuff like that, there's room for talk and resolution. We're still kind of, even though the energies feel like they're ramping up, we're still kind of in between the spikes, I'll put it that way, where we can process what we've been through in August. Because August was a huge energetic month. We all feel differently from that. It's sort of like we're recalibrating, decompressing, grounding, centering, and getting ready for the next wave and the next spike, basically. So there's a good self-care week that's coming up. So do that, do some healing. And whereas last week I was saying the energy looks really angry and to watch out for that. This week it looks more like sad and depressed. So I think you're going to find that there's a general trend when you go out into the world that people are having their heads hanging down, or people feeling kind of defeated and, and down and out and stuff like that. So always, go out with a charged heart. I like to do by heart brain coherent. I also like to do the spirit mirror so that any negative energy kind of gets deflected away from me, not necessarily back at the person, but away from me, and that'll help. So let me do some other stuff. Something about Mila. So this is an interesting story. So Mila, my daughter, little was missing, her gate was open, which never is. I had a very positive feeling come over me. Told her she's coming back. She said to you all search hours. I think you're trying to say that the dog came back just as you felt she would. Oh, okay, Lisa. Enjoy Beetlejuice. That sounds like fun. Yeah. Well, we shall see. That's basically what they said about Joe Biden also when he got in. Can't say they were completely wrong, right? If you look at how things have changed, but I'll put it this way, there's a very kind of a socialist, I don't even want to say communist, but that kind of energy, except where we need it, which is the healthcare system. Every other country has socialized medicine, but the US. But everything else seems to be leaning more towards those ideologies, right? So, but it's not so much Harris. It's what's behind her. I'm not going to even say the Democratic Party because that they got infiltrated. That it's what's behind that. Because the Republicans and Democrats are basically two parts of the same whole. 20 years ago, it was the Republicans were the bad guys, now it's the Democrats. It keeps changing and flipping. Stay in the heart. Stay in your power. The more people that stay in their heart, the more you're going to see through these illusions, and they're not going to get away with it. So anyhow, I have to say, I have my Dali deck. This is a beautiful gift. Here's what it came in. This deck. This is from Adam and Euphrasie from the Manifest Yourself channel that I often recommend for really great kind of a spiritual, sort of very etheric. It's mostly a faceless channel, so it's more. It's not like my videos are all talking head videos. And just really dives into the spiritual side of law of attraction, manifestation, and stuff like that. So on the subject of shout-outs, where's Mr. Floyd? Archangel Raphael, Saint Germain, and Sekhmet channel. That would be Josh on Mr. Floyd's channeling channel, and he's built quite a community over there. I mean, granted, it's sort of a blend of this community also, but kudos to you for building them, and if people keep coming back, that shows you're doing something right. So you can gauge the response, that you're doing something right because your channel's building and people keep coming back and they love you. So that's good. Doreen of Children's School of Yoga also does YouTube videos on their astrology meets yoga and other things. And if Millie's in, she has a beautiful channel that's very naturey but very insightful at the same time. And you're welcome, Josh. And anybody else who has a channel, let us know, because we're a community, and I love the blending of these energies of different channels. We all have, there's one reality, right? There's one truth, but we're all in different. We all see it from a different part of the great circle or the great medicine wheel, so to speak. So from my perspective, if there's a feather in the center of of the circle, from my perspective, it may look long and narrow, but somebody to my left, it may look fat and wide. It's the same feather, it's just a different vantage point. So we all approach this from a different vantage point based upon who we are as spirit, based upon how we've been programmed in this lifetime and what we've learned in this lifetime also. And Laura B says, did I understand that Laura's going to be interviewed on Tuesday? If I get home soon enough, I'll watch that. I have a friend visiting from Scottsdale, Arizona, but if I'm back soon enough, I'll definitely check it out and lend some support and good vibes to you. Yeah. All right, so let me pull a card from the Salvador Dali deck. You guys down in Florida or visiting Florida, check the museum out in St. Petersburg. It's quite extraordinary. I love Salvador Dali, so I think he's somewhat of a metaphysician himself too. All right, I need to clear my mind. Okay. Oh, my mind is a little off right now. In the middle. Okay, I found it. All right, here we go. This would be the. Okay, so this would be. Oh, where did I put the Two of Cups? This would be the Two of Cups also. So this would be the same card we pulled for the meditation. Only this is Salvador Dali's interpretation. Good. You can't really see the nudity, so that's good. This video won't get flagged. That means. Hi MDR, welcome. Free will absolutely can change things that are fated. It's fluid timelines. I believe in both. And they're interactive, yin and yang, right? Interactive. Good point. Yeah, Peggy knows that. So that's the Two of Cups. So again, important meetings, kind of a blending of your different sides or selves, so to speak. So I think that's the theme. Yeah. I love what got my attention. That's why I looked at it. Is this little eye here also. And I feel like it's saying, remember, the earth is living and conscious also. Everything has consciousness. Everything is aware on some level. Yeah, the Native Americans were very big on that. And, a good exercise is get a walk out in nature, but a walk where you're very present. You're not your name, body, your job, or your hair color. You're just energy and spirit, and you're guiding this human part of yourself through this walk through the wood, but you're really open and just kind of like feel the energy as you walk along, and you may find warm and cool spots, or spots of high energy, or spots of low energy. And I was somewhat trained in how to do this back in the 80s. And my teacher back then would say, you want to find the higher spots as the spot to sit in the woods and meditating, because some spots in the wood would actually drain your energies rather than add to your energies. That yes, that's how it is. There's light and there's dark, there's hot, there's cold, but it's all part of the same thing. So duality ceases to exist once you get in fully into the heart and fully into spirit. Then what happens when duality ceases to exist? Your physical reference point ceases to exist, and you're no longer your name and your body, your energy and frequency, and you blend with the quantum field in the realm of spirit. So I think also part of the meaning is be aware of possible new spiritual teachers that you may come across, new friends, new partners. Some of you may come up with a business arrangement. Be open to collaborations, especially if you are self-employed, or if you do YouTube or other social media. There may be somebody that may have something for you that might be useful. That it also feels to me like two sides are talking. This could also represent, and this is another thing that I'll expand on, the big wave of peace that's coming also. And I don't know if that's just through energy, or if there's actually a group or an organization that's really working with the different nations to try to restore balance and peace. But there's this big wave of peace amidst a time where war is escalating. So it's kind of the yin and the yang that's happening. So maybe to also be aware of that and to be part of that as well. Yeah, okay. I was saying, why was I saying that? Yeah, because it's kind of like two different opposites, as they were, that aren't really opposites, kind of getting together. And I think there are that's going on. I mean, it could, probably because it's more in my mind right now, but of course it's more in the headlines too. It's probably has to do with like Hamas and Israel and Palestine and that. But there's Russia and Ukraine, and the other thing is, watch the Pacific. There's been hints of this, but I think there's going to be full on. We'll just say conflict. I'm not going to even use the word a full-on conflict involving 3 different countries. It could be China, um, 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 Taiwan, and something like the Philippines or Japan. But I feel like there's 3 different countries there also. Yeah, our prayers cover us with peace. Absolutely, that's great. So in Aurora, Mr. Floyd's in that area. Also, who does not in, but Jared, but he has a beautiful YouTube channel also, and he comes in when he can, and shares his wisdom. So a lot of his wisdom is through meditation, yoga, Vedic and Hindu studies, and stuff like that. So anyway, new friends and partners, that would be nice. Yeah. So I've got other tools, and let me see. Oh gosh, we're running a long show today. I'm trying to keep this to an hour, but it's not working that way. Probably because I get very chatty. It's probably the reason. But anyway, these are the moon cards or Moonology cards. Gift from Millie. Thank you. So I'll do these briefly because it's a nice Sunday. I don't want. I mean, you guys will probably keep watching the longer I went, but we want some balance in our lives. Also, I've got to clean my whole house today, so I have a personal reason. But anyhow, and I have to talk to my brother if he's able to talk and all that stuff. So a lot going on in all of our lives, right? It's just the big transition, the big shift, a lot of changes. So, anyways, here we go. This card. Yeah. Kind of lick my fingers off camera so I can pull these cards with these dry appendages that feel like twigs right now. Take time to breathe. This is the disseminating moon. Somebody has to tell me what the disseminating moon means because I don't know. That's a moon in dissemination. Yes. Take time out to breathe. So again, the energies looked a little bit, not so charged and intense like last couple of weeks. This is our time to reset. So the lunar energy is telling us that also. Anyway, we're in a waxing moon now. I think we're hitting the first quarter tomorrow or Tuesday, but we're in a waxing moon right now. Yes, Colleen, thank you, and thank you, Millie. It's the start of a waning moon, the disseminating moon. That's right after the full moon phase, so we're still in that high energy, but it's starting to wane. All right, and this is a time to breathe out. That makes sense actually from the message. All right, so we have Doreen commenting, this is the Angels and Ancestors deck, so I'm switching up my Kyle Gray decks, both gifts from Children's School of Yoga, aka Doreen. And here we go. So let's see what Kyle has to say. There we go. I can pull the card out. Trader? Exchange energy to create abundance. Oh, I love that. That's a beautiful card. Give and receive, trading energy. I love it. Yeah. Glad MDR that you're starting to come out of it. I know grief is so hard. So lots of love to MDR also, who's coming out of her grief. So this is going back to the last card, the disseminating moon card, and we'll suggest that a person should have faith that things are happening for the best, accept the current situation and relax. Beautiful message, yeah. And trader, yeah. So be willing to give to receive, receive to give, finding that balance. but it's, to give, generously with an open heart. And anything else about that? Yeah, change energy to receive abundance. That's a great message. The more value you add, the more abundance you'll receive, because abundance and value kind of go together. And money is just the physical counterpart to the spiritual principle of abundance. So whether you have a job or a business, offer more value than what you're expecting to receive. And of course, words are words. I like to walk the walk, not just talk the talk, and lead by example, so to speak. So if you look at my YouTube channel, I'm adding a lot of value. This is a 20 to 40 hours a week I spend on YouTube, putting lots of videos out there. Don't get paid for it, hardly anything, but this is my passion. I want to teach. I want to help people awaken. So that's, an example of giving value. And that's how abundance is going to be created, because everything's a circle. So as the abundance comes back to me, guess what? I can add more value. I can take more courses. I can go to different sacred sites. I can hire help to enhance the YouTube experience for you guys, all that stuff. So don't be shy, or allow the negative programming around money to block your ability to attract abundance. It's there. We're abundant beings. It's there. We just have to get the negativity out of the way. We become natural to it. One of the ways to do that is to add value. Anyway, that's what I'm getting from that card. Doreen may come up with a whole different meaning, but that's what I'm getting. Anyway, moving right along, we have Isis Oracle. So that's a gift from Josh from Mr. Floyd's channeling channel. By the way, I'm on the second week of absolutely no sugar, except I'm allowed to have up to half a cup of berries a day on this diet. Yeah, I'm healing a lot. Those hives that came up when I had long COVID that never went away are going away now. So I'm taking some very powerful detox herbs too. Really powerful stuff. It's called biodefense. And it's good for parasites as well as bacteria. And then I'm doing a lot of probiotics. We're crowding out the bad bacteria now, so that the biodefense can kill it. Our bad bacteria hides deep in that small intestine that's about 20 feet long. And even with probiotics, it's very hard to crowd that out. So anyhow, it's working. So I feel very different and very ungrounded. So anyhow, clear my mind. Isis. I swear I'm hearing Bob Dylan my song. Isis, oh Isis, you're a mystical child. And enter the chamber of healing. We've gotten this card before, so this is a big healing, resetting, healing. Clearing emotions, express what you need to express, but clearing the heart. The heart sometimes gets clogged with unresolved emotions, your shadow aspects, pain body stuff, things like that. When we meditate and we just allow ourselves to just be love and be the vibration of love, do that long enough, all the stuff that's been trapped starts to get released. It's not always easy, but if you stay with the program, it's easy. And the message here is healing in the divine chamber of Lady Isis. So yes, big healing energy. Oh, Bob, is that? Oh, Bob Dylan. I thought, is that Bob Weir? No, Bob Dylan. Yeah, me too. That was the first time when I was a kid. I asked my mom about Isis. Could I like that song? And she said she's a goddess from Egypt. I was like, cool. Although the song is about a specific individual named Isis, but in any event, yeah, I know this is a great card, and it also reminds you of sitting in the cabinet, which is an exercise in developing mediumship, especially physical mediumship and trance mediumship. It's similar to an isolation experience, where you become sensory deprived, and then you can blend more with the spirits. And people that are very good at it, at physical mediumship. Sometimes they'll sit in the closet and they're able to facilitate physical phenomena from the spirits. Fortunately, it also gets faked a lot, so sometimes physical mediumship gets a bad name because of the phonies, but it is a real thing also. I love Steve Noble or Nobel, depending on how he pronounces it. Oh, so Steve knows about these cards. I just saw a post of his that he and his lady friend. I mean, I thought he was gay, but maybe I was mistaken. But I mean, the lady friend could just be a friend or a business partner. But whatever the case, they won all kinds of awards in metaphysics, and it's well deserved. If you've never experienced a Steve Noble meditation on YouTube, he's got tons of them. He's about he rivals Bashir as like amongst the most powerful meditation facilitators on the planet from what I've experienced. He's that good. So, anyways, what's left? Oh, the frequency of the week. Now that it's already 105. Sorry, we're spending so much time today. I guess there's a lot to say, or if there wasn't, I found a lot to say. All right. Yeah, I went right to my card. It's this one. And it's universal love. So that's kind of been the theme. Lots of cups. Love, healing, resetting, being that vibration. Again, they're showing me a little bit of stuff around the economy and things change, but the economy's got to implode to be rebuilt anyway. I said I'll talk more about that. But universal love, the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. And the more we can be aware of that and feel that, and the more people that are able to do that, well, the more we're going to ascend as a species. Yeah. We're at 44. We're at 40 now. We were up to 51 earlier. I'm finding, I think I'm doing better on the YouTube algorithm because I'm finding a lot of people coming and going now. And those will be the people that just find the video, they look at it, then they're like, this is in the middle. I have something better to do. And then they chime out. So I think that's a good sign that we get a lot of that. 12-12 already. All right. So there's universal love. Quickly, I've got different animal deck, the Steve Farmer deck. I love Farmer. It's the last name for somebody that works with spirit animals. I think it's message. Do I have the box with me? I do. Messages from your animal guides from Stephen D. Farmer. So there you have it. Grouse. Yeah, I like the grouses. I tend to see them, or sometimes you hear them. They sound like helicopters taking off. And in my medicine cards, grouse was one of my totems also. Express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dance. That's a great message. I don't get to it every day, but I try to do some drumming every day. And then I'd be really good if I practice. I'll put it that way. For somebody that doesn't practice a lot, I do pretty good stuff on the drums, and to me, it's a way of tuning into spirit. And sometimes I'll sing and I'll drum, Beatles songs, Grateful Dead songs, things that aren't that hard, basically, and just being and to be able to sing and to drum, you have to be in flow. You can't think about it. It's like playing a piano. You learn that if you think about what my right hand and what my left hand is doing, you're not going to be able to do it. And what does that do? It kind of disassociates the right and the left brain. It kind of breaks down that control. And when that happens, you step more into flow state, basically. So music gets you into flow state. It's rhythm and timing, right? So do something, dancing, drumming. That's going to help to keep your energies moving, because there's a little bit of a lull. So it's easy to get stagnant. And I think with everything that's happened energetically and with the world, I think a lot of people are having a hard time motivating themselves to exercise or to do things. But once you start dancing, drumming, singing, anything with music flow, then you tap in, and then your energy comes, and then things get a lot better. So anyway, one more, and that would be just a quick angel message. I'm not sure when my live streams are this week. I think probably Saturday, and then when's the full moon? Next Monday, is it? So those will be the live streams, I think. Saturday is the 5 things that we need to know. The Monday, and something may come up, and I may come on. You never know. So anyhow, so you got a couple of Utah people, or is that MDR with Utah? Yeah, with her guy and Haley's in Utah. Beautiful state. It was in the 80s when I was in Bryce Canyon, and it's like, I need to go back to Utah. So anyway, Celeste, a happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher positive energy. Now, the move could also be a move in consciousness. It could be a move in understanding. For some of you, it may be literal, but be okay with change. And movement is a good thing right now. And I'm in West Valley. He's in Ogden, and well, actually, my son's Odin, but he took the name Ogden for many, many years. Because when he was 3 years old, he announced he didn't want to be Odin anymore. So I asked him, why not? He said, because it's an O and a Din, and I don't like it. And I was like, all right, I get it. Anyway, to make a long story short, a few weeks later, he settled on the name Ogden, which I think means Oak Valley in Welsh or something like that. So it's interesting that Captain Moab. Oh yeah. I these are things that I need to do. I need to get out there. Get the channel to be more self-sustaining. Give me some time to explore the West. We'll be visiting you and Josh before too long, or you and Jared. I mean, before too long, Josh. And anybody else that's out in Colorado in that way. All right. So anyway, that's what we have. Mediumship and channeling retreat is coming October 18th and the 20th. If you want to dive deeper into mediumship, trance mediumship, energy healing, and spirit art, we're going to have a big, fun, expansive, and intensive workshop here in the beautiful Catskills during the fall foliage peak, although maybe a tad after peak because everything's a little early this year. That's coming up. Healing with the master teachers on Zoom. That's coming up. You guys, check out my website from time to time for the events. It's atombetweentheworlds.com. If you want to get on the email list, it's info@atombetweentheworlds.com. And we send 1 to 2 emails per week. Check your spam folders if you're on the list also. And because we have things that are going to be coming up. We have a couple of mediumship events in October coming up also. Oh, and on the channel, I think it's the 19th, but right around the 19th, that's when we do our free mediumship here on the Medium channel. Every Celtic Sabbath we do it. So this will be Mabon. I think it's Mabon or Mabon. Okay. The fall equinox or spring equinox in the southern hemisphere comes up on the I think it's the 9th. No, wait, it's September. It's the 22nd, not the 19th. It's 22nd this year. So right around the 22nd, we're doing mediumship on the channel here, and that's free. So anyway, yeah, if anybody's liking this video, please hit the like, hit the thumbs up. If you know anybody that could benefit from what we do here, definitely let them know about us. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? The thing about being subscribed to the channel is that more of our videos are going to come up on your homepage, basically. And if you hit the bell notification, then you get notified when we go on for live events. So anyhow, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you, everybody. I love you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for spending all this time with me today. We went an hour and 15 minutes. So thanks again. I love you.